What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. A lot of new people have been getting into the Pokemon investing space as of late, and with that, it's getting a lot more difficult to find good plays to make unless you can scoop up product at MSRP, which again is getting extremely difficult to do. If you're like me and you cannot find prismatic evolutions at MSRP, you can't find 151, you can't find surging sparks, you might want to be looking at some products and sets that people aren't necessarily talking as much about. And that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to go over a few sets that I think people are sleeping on right now and some of the sets that I'm personally picking up. All right, so first up, I want to talk about Brilliant Stars. If you've been here for a while, you know that I love Brilliant Stars. I think this is an extremely good set, an extremely strong set that I think is going to perform really well over time. I really think that there's going to be a day where we see everything from Brilliant Stars just spike up in price. I know that's kind of been happening all over the hobby as of late, but I think Brilliant Stars is still undervalued for what it has to offer. The booster box is very close to its 1-year high, but it seems to be dipping just a little bit. Right now it's sitting at about $286. When you compare that to a set like Lost Origin, the booster box is $100 cheaper. And even though Lost Origin has that Giratina, you've got an alternate art Charizard and a few other Charizard variants in Brilliant Stars. Before we talk about the best singles, there are 18 cards that are over $10 in this set, and a lot of them growing pretty drastically as of late. Like I mentioned, the key card in this set is the Charizard V alternate art. It's been a bit of a roller coaster over the last year for this card. It was sitting at about $120 for a while, spiked up to $200 early summer of 2024, dipped right back down to like $125, but is now returned over $200. It seems like week by week, the PSA 10 of this card is going up. If you were here a year ago, I was saying this card was a great pickup at like $110. At $200, I do still feel like this card could go up a little more, but what I'm thinking is more so buy the sealed product. I think this is a really strong set because other than the Charizard, you know, you've got a Rainbow Charizard, you got a Full Art Charizard, but you've also got a trainer gallery that features the Evolutions, and as we all know, Evolutions are super hot right now. I don't really see the Evolution hype train slowing down anytime soon. I feel like with the light being shined so bright on Prismatic Evolutions, it's going to cause people to look at other Evolution sets and want to pick up those singles. Evolving Skies, obviously. Crown Zenith has the Leafeon and Glaceon, but Brilliant Stars has an Eevee, a Flareon, a Jolteon, a Vaporeon, an Umbreon V, an Umbreon VMAX, and a Sylveon V and Sylveon VMAX. Obviously, Umbreon VMAX being the strongest. Within the last year, this has been as low as $20, but right now it's going for almost $85, and it seems to still be climbing. It's up 244% over the last year. Those are some massive gains for this card. In terms of alternate arts, you got some alt arts in this set. Not many of them are that great. There's only 4 in that later block of the Sword and Shield era. Not nearly as many as Evolving Skies or Chilling Reign, but you've got the Arceus V, which is pretty notable. It's not at its 1-year high right now. I think there's still room for growth on this if you want to pick it up. Right now, $42, not too bad. But a lot of these trainer galleries are seeing growth. I think the trainer galleries were slept on for a long time. It seems throughout many of the sets, a lot of them have been climbing as of late. Even these yellow border ones, this Vaporeon, for example, is up from $4 to $12 over the last 3 months, and non-evolutions are growing too. This Zekrom featuring N on it, I think this is seeing spikes just due to Journey Together, all of N's Pokemon and N's Reshiram coming out, so you're gonna have both of them. Obviously, this card might look a little strange sitting next to N's Reshiram, considering this has a yellow border. N's Reshiram has the gray. But again, this one jumped up from like $250 to $12 really over the course of the last couple of weeks. So Brilliant Stars, honestly, I think is a no-brainer. You can still get product at the Pokemon Center for MSRP. Obviously, you can't get booster boxes or booster packs as easy now, but you can get the Build and Battle Stadium and the Build and Battle boxes on the Pokemon Center for an alright price. Even if you're in Canada here like I am, I've been buying these up. If you're looking at some of the local game stores, these are going for more like 115, 120 Canadian. With shipping and taxes and all that, you're looking more like 90 Canadian for this. Again, not the cheapest opportunity, but I think this is a really safe product to pick up. Even if you just crack it open and rip out the packs. The packs are easily worth it at about $7. Next up is Astral Radiance. It's not all going to be Sword and Shield on this list, but I thought we would start off with these and get them out of the way. Astral Radiance, obviously not the strongest of the 4 Trainer Gallery sets. I think this is the weakest. In my opinion, it's by far the weakest, but the Trainer Gallery is really strong, and I think that's what carries this set. Booster box going for about $237 right now. Similar to Brilliant Stars, there's a little bit less at 15 cards over $10, and not as many big hitters. There are a couple alt arts that are pretty nice. This set was heavily focused on like Galarian Pokemon, Legends Arceus, Hisuian stuff. Not my cup of tea. I don't really vibe with that all that much. I don't really care about Gen 4 all that much, so the Origin Form Dialga and Palkias, not cards that I necessarily want to pick up, but I know a lot of people do really love these cards and these Pokemon. The other alternate art in here is Machamp V. This card's actually not even at its 1-year high right now. It was going for about 190 6 months ago, but as of now, it looks like it's climbing up at 145. This might be a good one to pick up just raw if you can find it at market price or a little bit less. I wouldn't be surprised if this one steadily climbs back up to like 175 towards 200 in the next 6 months. But in my opinion, the 2 big cards that really stand out in this set is the Starmie V and the Garchomp, both featuring pretty popular trainers in Misty and Cynthia. This Starmie is super popular right now. It's pretty well at its high of $88. Garchomp as well, $63. Just like Brilliant Stars, Astral Radiance, Build and Battle boxes and stadiums are still available on the Pokemon Center. If it were me and actually what I've been doing, I'm picking up the Brilliant Stars. I'm not really picking up much more Astral Radiance. Personally, don't love the set all that much. I don't think it's going to perform nearly as well as Brilliant Stars. I feel like Brilliant Stars is going to pop off, but Astral Radiance could very well do the same. All right, now for a set that's been the talk of the town this week, and that is Shrouded Fable. People have been hinting at this for like a month now, it seems. You know, Shrouded Fable's cheap. Everything is hard to find, but you can get Shrouded Fable. Maybe now's the time to pick it up. Maybe it's time to make a play. And some people have been making very big plays on Shrouded Fable, and it seems to be paying off. The ETBs are still very cheap, $45. I picked up a bunch of them for 60 Canadian. They're very easy to find, between like 55 and 65 Canadian, which would translate to like $40, $45. Right now, this set is doing way better than Brilliant Stars and Astral Radiance. There are 22 cards over $10. I will say this is a very playable set, so a lot of these cards might tank in value post-rotation or if more products get released featuring a lot of these. For example, I know Pecharunt EX was reprinted in Prismatic Evolutions, but that might not affect the price of these too much. They're not that expensive after all, about $21 each. And in terms of special illustration rares, nothing really shines too much. You got the Pheasantipity, which is a very playable card from what I understand. Cassiopeia is cool, probably my favorite. The other ones aren't really too high up there. They're all over $10 though, because it is very difficult to pull these cards. I've opened up about 40 packs of Shrouded Fable, and I've pulled 1 regular EX and 2 A-Specs. So in my opinion, not a very big set and very difficult to get the hits. A lot of these cards are kind of darker. Gives a good Team Rocket vibe, which is, I think, is what's pushing popularity to this. The Persian is up a lot right now, going for about $78. It went from $30 a month ago to $78 right now and seems to be continuing to grow. It might keep going with Team Rocket just around the corner. We'll have to see. Other cards like the Houndoom, the Duskull, the Cresselia, the Horsey, everything in this set is really nice. Like I said, it's a lot of like darker Pokemon, a lot of darker cards, which I personally like, but it's just not a fun set to rip in my opinion. Of course, sealed product is relatively cheap right now, at least the Elite Trainer boxes are, but if the singles keep rising and they're hard to get, if demand is there for them, the sealed product will go up as well. There is one standout product that's doing extremely good right now, and that is the Greninja Premium Collection box. The Kingdra is also doing good, just not nearly as good. The Greninja box up to about $81, and that card alone is going for $35. I think that's more than I was buying these boxes for. Of course, Scarlet and Violet has really put some respect, I guess, on Greninja. Everyone loves Greninja. That's been the chase up until this new Moonbreon card and until the Surging Sparks Pikachu. And a lot of people think this Greninja artwork is, you know, just as good. It's not a Terra card. It's an alternate art or like a special illustration rare promo, but it's very nice. It's going to be a difficult one to grade because it's a promo, and that's showing a very high premium. In a PSA 10, this card's going for over $170 and seems to be continuing to climb. There's been a few sales over the last week, over $200 on the PSA 10. I think it's a great opportunity to try to pick up some clean copies of this Greninja and send them into PSA. I'm going to make a video about this in the future, but there are a lot of really good cards right now. If you can get those clean copies and grade them a 10, you can make 4, 5, 6 times your profit on that grade if it comes back to 10. Of course, that's a bit risky. You want to have experience grading cards. You want to know what to look for to get that 10. But that's something I'm playing around with right now. I'm building a PSA submission, so I'll make a video about that in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, Shrouded Fable ETBs I think are a great shout. I think they're going to keep climbing. Like, they were $30 in November and now they're up to 45. I feel like this will be $50, $60 by the end of February. Next up, hold on, wait up. Did you know 80% of you still aren't subscribed to the channel? If you find yourself enjoying this video at any point, let me know by hitting a hyper beam on that subscribe button. And while you're at it, maybe leave a like. It helps the channel continue to grow. All right, now back to the video. I want to talk about one that's not necessarily best to jump on or right this second, but one to keep an eye out for. Temporal forces. I've kind of heard some whispers, people talking about confirmation, I guess, from distribution. I don't know for sure. I've just heard this secondhand knowledge that Temporal Forces is going to be getting a reprint. It seems other sets like Paradox Rift and Obsidian Flames won't be, but Temporal will be getting more booster boxes at some point this year. Again, just like Shrouded Fable, there are 23 cards over $10 in this set. Some of the notable cards being that Raging Bolt EX special illustration rare. You got the Iron Crown, the Ghastly, Morty's Conviction featuring Gengar. There's an Arbok. You know, the original 151 IRs seem to be bumping in value as of late. But yeah, this is a pretty good set. I wouldn't say it's necessarily my favorite, but right now, $160 for a booster box. If these get reprinted and they drop in value, I think it's going to be a great set to pick up. Like I mentioned at the start, I wouldn't necessarily be jumping in on it at this moment, but give it a few months. If you can find it at a good price, you know, under market value, closer to MSRP, I'd be picking it up. The Raging Bolt right now is going for just about $100. The Iron Crown has actually gone down over the last year. It's going for $60 right now. I feel like there's great potential for this card to go up over time. It's very nice. So is the Iron Leaves. That's my favorite card from this set. I think this is a card, though, that I'll be looking to pick up. You also got Ghastly. This one's been jumping up like crazy. I think a lot of these illustration rares seem to be really good. I know, of course, the Eevee from Twilight Masquerade is like growing like crazy. The Magikarp. There have been a lot of standout illustration rares, and just because, you know, they're not that difficult to pull, but the fact there's so many in a lot of these sets are kind of driving the value of them up. But anyways, the value of this card, it went from like $20 all the way up to $50 in the last 3 months. Looks like it's just going to continue climbing. And now the last set that I want to talk about is Paradox Rift. I think Paradox Rift is a really strong set. It's the first set with the introduction of the Paradox Pokemon, the Future and the Ancient trait. Again, there are 23 cards over $10 in this set. It's led by an illustration rare that Groudon is following similar growth pattern to Magikarp. Right now, it's going for over $100. It's $104 for the raw copy of this Groudon. I remember not picking it up at like $60 because I felt it was too expensive. Now I'm kicking myself in the ass. It's a card I really like. I love Gen 3, so this is one I definitely need in my collection one day. And I don't know if it's going to drop much, if any. The booster boxes for this set are still cheap. They're cheaper than Temporal Forces. Look at that. And it's older. It's safer from a reprint. They could still go back and reprint it, but I don't think they really have much of a reason to. It's shown steady growth. Like, this was sitting at like $90 to $100 for a while. Towards October, though, it just started climbing and hasn't really slowed down. Right now, $148. Like I mentioned, the only real playable cards from my understanding, I'm not like super into the competitive space anymore, but Roaring Moon, Professor Sada's Vitality, I think Earthern Vessel is in this set as well, just a regular uncommon trainer. I think that's really it for like playable cards. There might be some other trainers that I can't think of off the top of my head. And with them being able to just reprint the playable cards in like a battle deck or something, I feel like it's pretty safe. I doubt they're going to really reprint this set. There's some really cool cards. The Roaring Moon, of course, the Groudon, as I mentioned. There is another Roaring Moon now, so I don't know how that's going to affect this one, having 2 SIRs of the same card. The new one in Prismatic is also very, very cool. But the Altaria seems to be seeing growth. I've seen a lot of people talking about that Swablu illustration rare, and it's grown up to $22. Altaria has climbed up a lot, going from $20 all the way to $56 in the last few months. Honestly, I feel like a lot of these SIRs in this set will grow a little bit. I think that Roaring Moon is really, really nice. This Altaria is nice. I don't see Groudon really dropping below $100 again. It could, but I don't think it will. There is a Garchomp as well. It's not the coolest Garchomp, but it's in this set. There's an Yveltal. There's a Steelix, which has been pretty consistent being a top card in this set. To me, it doesn't really stand out too much, but it is great. There's also Golden Go SIR, which connects with Gimmighoul. Personally, I think I like the Prismatic Evolutions version a little bit more though. But yeah, at 148 a booster box, 150 a booster box, I think this is still a great pickup. I feel like this one will keep climbing, especially if they don't print more of it. It could very well jump up another $25 to $60 in the next year. All right, guys, so there are a few Pokemon card sets, Pokemon card products that I think are a little bit slept on right now. Great investment opportunities, in my opinion. The way I look at these sets, though, are long-term holds. Like, I'm not necessarily looking at a set being like, I'm going to pick this booster box up at $150 and it's going to be $200 in 3 months and I'm going to sell it. I'm more looking at things like the 3, the 5, the 10-year mark. A lot of this stuff I picked up at MSRP years ago, not even necessarily for like the rock bottom prices. I've just held on to them and they've gone up. That's kind of the secret sauce with Pokemon cards. Like, once it's out of print, it's going to go up in value as long as you're patient and you don't freak out or overspend on stuff hoping that it's going to, just keep shooting up. You kind of want to monitor it. You kind of want to buy at the dips. It's a little bit difficult to know, but over time, it's going to be very easy to follow. Pokemon investing is not a hard strategy, especially when you're investing in sealed products. And speaking of that, let me know if you want to see a video on like the different types or different strategies within Pokemon card investing. There's people who invest in slabs. There's people who invest in singles, people who just flip singles or buy singles to grade. There's people who flip sealed product or just invest long-term in sealed product. That might make for an interesting video, just talking about the pros and cons to each one of those kind of subjects within the Pokemon investing space. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know in the comments below if there's any sets that you're keeping an eye on that other people aren't necessarily talking about. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one, all right? Peace!